To begin with, we want to say thank you for allowing us to come in and explain to you a little bit about Pillar to Post and who Pillar to Post is. I know there's a lot of different home inspection companies around, and everybody's got a lot to choose from. One thing I want to do, and they'll go up and they'll, like you were asking about the IR camera, people can show you how they work the IR camera. They can do different things. But one of the biggest things I'd like to do today, and it only takes us about 10 or 15 minutes, but explain what the differences are between Pillar to Post and whoever you may be used, and what we do different. So to begin with, I've been in the business since 1993. I started my own home inspection business in Atlanta, Georgia, called Architectural Inspectors. Kind of stayed in it for a few years, and unfortunately after the few years we couldn't make any money back then because people really wasn't paying for home inspections. So then I got into the remodel business, and I was a remodeler and designer, kitchen designer for almost 30 years. So fast forward a lot, Pillar to Post, I bought a house in Fairhope, and I called Pillar to Post to come over and inspect it for me. So the gentleman who did the inspection at Pillar to Post was named Chris Abear. Any of y'all been in the business long, you probably knew him. Well, Chris, him and his wife and him and my wife, we became extremely close friends. Went out to dinner with him a lot and everything. And then Chris told me one day, he says, hey, we're moving. We've got to move to Connecticut. That's where our grandkids are. We want to be with our grandkids. And who don't? We all see that. Everybody wants to be with their grandkids. I'm the only one that I know trying to move away from my grandkids. I'm just kidding. But anyway, he moved, and we got to talking, and make a long story short, I bought him out. And it was probably the best thing in my life I've ever done. I've owned the business now for 5 years. And one of the reasons when you get into, when you say, okay, you want to be a home inspector, is definitely when you own a franchise, you have to pay dues just like you have to pay dues anywhere else. And why would I want to buy something that I've always got to pay somebody when I can do it for myself and I don't have to pay anybody? Well, it's pretty simple. When you get into home inspections, the problem with home inspections is there's so much liability. Unbelievable. If we were the gentleman that came into your home and we did not detect that you had Durapex plumbing, you could easily file a lawsuit against us and got us to pay for the problem that you had. Unfortunately, it happens. So the good thing about Pillar to Post is we have arbitrators, we have people that work in our organization. We have 600 and something franchises across the United States. So we all work together. And to begin with, we try not to miss anything, but everybody's human, so some people going to. But if we have problems, there's ways that we can help people and with the insurances and the liabilities. We're one of the only companies that carry E&O insurance that protects you too. It's not only protect us. So let's just say, for instance, we got into that lawsuit. You know, people that are in a lawsuit, they don't sue one person. They sue everybody involved. They're going to sue you personally as a realtor. They're going to sue Vacasa. They're going to sue me. They sue everybody. Well, our E&O insurance protects you from those suits. So basically, our insurance is going to step up, and we're going to be the fall guy if that's what happens. That's who we are and what we do. Now, saying that, I want to explain a little bit about our packages and what we do. So we have basically 3 packages, and you got a little brochure in here that shows our 3 different packages, which we call the Plus package, the Premium package, and then the Prestige package. We'll start off with the Plus package. So the Plus package is going to be very similar to a different home inspector at a different company. We're going to do, it's a visual inspection. We walk through, we get in the attic, we get in the crawl space, we do whatever has to be done. But the things we do different in that they don't do is any findings that we have. Anything that goes wrong with that home, if we say, okay, you have Durapex plumbing or whatever, it goes on to our summary report. And then the summary report, the next day, prices out everything that went wrong in the house. So let's just say, for instance, you do have Durapex. And based on the square footage, we're going to come back and tell you what it's going to cost to replumb that house on the next day. So it's really, really neat. All your buyer has to do is click a button, put his email address in there, and then the next day he gets this list in full of everything that was wrong with this house and how much it cost to fix the house. We're the only people that I know of that does it. It's a great tool to go by. It doesn't mean we're gonna fix it, we're just gonna tell you what the price should be to fix it. Now, as y'all know, I mean, especially here and it's everywhere nowadays, you can get one plumber come in and say he'll change a hot water heater for $1,000, and the next one comes in and says it's $2,000. So we're gonna give the medium minimum on what we think it's gonna cost or what it should cost. You can also take that list and say, if you do have that plumber come in and say, well, listen, they told me usually about $1,000 and you're giving me a $2,000 price, you know if that guy's ripping you off or not,
Right.
basically. So it's just really something great to go by. The next thing that we do in this package, which we really, really love, is called the PTP 360. We do 360-degree walkthrough photos on every home we do. It doesn't matter if it's a 800 square foot or 500 square foot condo, or if it's a 10,000 square foot mansion. We do walkthrough photos. So we set up a camera very similar to this in the middle of each room. It goes in and shoots the room from the ceiling, and it will give us a floor plan of that entire house to every square inch, plus it'll do photos of that entire house. Now, on the Plus package, you get the photos. When we go to the next package, you also get the floor plan in which it does. So your floor plan is going to come out looking a lot like this. So a standard floor plan on the house. It's going to print out, just like if you were building a house, you got to have a floor plan. This is what we're going to give you with. Now you can get this floor plan with or without measurements. Some brokers don't like the measurements because they don't want to tell the square footage or don't want to be responsible if it's wrong and so forth. But so you can do it either or. When we do the PTP 360 with the photos, the beauty is, let's just say, for instance, you're closed out the house and it's 15 days, not even close it out, you sign the contract, it's 15 days into the process. Your customer's sitting at home and she's saying, man, is my couch gonna fit on that real wall? I don't know if it's gonna fit or not. Well, all they have to do is pull up their floor plan, pull up their photos, and it's gonna give them measurement of that wall to tell them if that couch will fit or not. The other cool thing about it is, let's say for instance, you know for a fact, because when you were there, that carpet was awful, and you wanna put vinyl plank everywhere. All you have to do is send that floor plan to your vinyl plank guy, he's gonna give you a price immediately. Because it's giving you all the square footage of every ounce of that.
How accurate?
It's very accurate. I mean,
Very
oh,
accurate?
very, very. Yes, ma'am. We've had people do ones compared to us and everything, and it comes out exactly. I mean, it's very, very accurate. Very
So
accurate.
you can do that actually, beforehand when you list the house, right?
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, I was going to be talking about that. I'll bring it up now. It's called a VOH. So we do what we call a virtual open house. So the virtual open house basically is we come in and we'll do a walkthrough photos with the floor plan that you can put on the MLS, you can put it on Facebook, you can put it anywhere you want to, and we'll do that for you. Now starting for, if you just wanted the photos, it's $179. If you want the floor plan and the photos, it's $249. But if you want a, like you say, hey, I'd love to have some roof shots or whatever, we'll fly a drone for you and throw the drone pictures in for free. So you're gonna get everything for...
You're like the photographer and the inspector.
That's exactly right. So we basically do that. So we did this a lot during the COVID times where nobody could get out and people were buying homes and never seen them. Well, this was the perfect way. Now you could see exactly what there was. I had an investor buying a house over in Fairhope.
List the house, I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So I had an investor buying a house in Fairhope, and as soon as he got the pictures in the virtual open house, he said, there's no way in hell I'll buy this house. Well, that's what you want to know because you have never seen the house.
Well, and I also think with the vacation rental side, we have a lot of people who buy sight unseen, literally.
Right.
FaceTime video.
That's exactly right.
And having this additional information for them helps them make a more sound and secure judgment and decision. But also, it's also going to stop people, like if you have that on the MLS or you pass it to other agents, it's available for the public to see.
That's exactly right.
It's going to stop people from wasting your time. If it's not what they want, if they don't like the floor plan, or if the extra spare bedrooms are too small.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's one of the things in real estate as far as listing and showing houses to buyers. It's kind of like, okay, you tell me what you want, but then we have the ones, well, let me just see, you know,
Right.
let me just see. And
That's right.
you don't need to see. Here are the measurements, not going to work for you.
Right.
So on and so forth. So I think it would help avoid wasting people's time as well.
That's exactly right, and I don't know if it's with that TV, I don't know what you've got on that TV now. We actually could show you videos of where we've done this. As a matter of fact, one of the videos that we usually show at this on Lunch and Learns are a video that's showing how much time it saves the agent, because you're not running backwards and forth. You're taking the whole film of the house. They can walk through. And the beauty about it, on the inspection, when you do the inspection part of it, is if you have let's say in the garage, and the hot water heater is leaking or something, and you mark it that the hot water is heater, when you do the VOH, it'll stop you at the hot water heater, and this is where your problem is. I mean, it's really goes in depth on what it does. It saved, I had a realtor here, matter of fact, in Gulf Shores, one of the brokers, she had used us, and we did the VOH, and not a VOH, we actually did a whole inspection on it. And she told me, she said, Dan, you saved my butt. And I said, what are you talking about? And she said, well, we sold this house, a lady bought the house. Then on closing, when we went to close, we noticed, or she noticed, that some of the light fixtures were changed. And so I asked the selling agent, and the selling agent asked the seller, and she said, no, we haven't changed the light fixtures. No, those are the same ones that was in. So we pull up our photos. She changed all the light fixtures, every bit of them. So it's just things that can help you save yourself of knowing.
Documentation.
That's right, documentation. It's even like when they move out, they knock a hole in the wall or something, but that hole wasn't in the wall, and you can prove that hole wasn't in the wall.
At the time of inspection,
Yeah. So it's really nice, and we do this on our the photo fit pictures on our least expensive package. And I can kind of tell you, I mean, our packages start on a condo, say around $300. So if it's $300 and you're getting that ability to get all your photos and knowing what's going on with that house.
Well, so like just a basic package for a condo, and I call you up to do the inspection. You know, so for $300, $300 to $400, I'm gonna have the inspection done, and then I'm also gonna have these pictures and a sketch of it too.
You're gonna get the pictures on the $300 or $400. That's the plus package.
Okay.
You're gonna get the pictures, and you're gonna get the estimate. Now, the way you get the next is you go into our premium program, and our premium does everything that the plus does, but plus. It is our most popular by far, the premium. And what the premium does is it creates the floor plan, and then it also does the IR scan, which you were asking about. So we take an infrared camera all over that house, especially like right after Sally, this happened a lot in condos. So we could actually take that IR scan that wall to find out if there's water behind that wall before they were to tear out and cut the sheetrock out or whatever else. We could know that. And that's what the premium, that's one of the biggest pluses to the premium that you do.
The one problem that I found with those cameras is that, I mean, it picks up, I mean, there could be mouse pee on there or something like that.
Mouse pee.
And it seemed like it picks it up, and then the next thing you know, they're asking for, you know, this area here to be, you know, replaced or done because there was a, you know, I mean, it just seems like it picks up every little thing, and you don't know how big of a problem it is. So
that's true to an extent. But if you did have like say mouse pee behind a wall, I mean, if it's just a tiny drop or something, you know, we don't even tell you about that because we don't feel that's a problem. Where we feel there's a problem is, let's say for instance, you got a 2-story home, you got a toilet upstairs, and now we're under on the first floor and we're starting to scan and we see that whole section turning purple. That means that toilet's leaking through the wall.
Actively leaking.
Okay, so
So if it's maybe a previous leak that's leaked, maybe it was repaired, but it was dried up, it's not leaking anymore.
That's right.
You even if you do note it, that there was prior leak, but you will note that it is not actively leaking.
Yeah.
That's my big thing, is
Yeah.
like, houses are gonna have, I mean, over time, there's gonna be things that happen in houses. But I've had, inspectors, not personally, but agents have had inspectors make a mountain out of a molehill, and somebody wanted complete sheetrock, wall, but it was a leak that was 15 years ago and was fixed and has leaked since. There's no black mold, there's no, nothing going on, but because it was a leak.
Yeah. Well, so to begin with, our IR camera wouldn't pick up anything there.
Okay.
Because the IR camera is only gonna pick up anything that's heat related, like a
Okay.
electrical outlet that's overheated, or
Okay.
a cold spot, which that's water.
Okay.
So that's the only two things. So if
Okay.
it's dried up, we just note there was a previous leak, it looks like it's been fixed, but that's not.
But there's
it's
no,
not gonna-
it's not actively,
it's
it's not
not-
wet.
That's
So it'd be
exactly right.
right to paint over that?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, as long as there's not an active leak and that
Right.
the buyer is made aware that maybe there was, like when you go up in the attic, you can see where, on the wood,
Mhm.
where there's been a prior
yeah.
leak.
See it all
But
the
it's
time.
not actively leaking,
That's
as long
right.
as it's been, repaired and it's not actively leaking.
And
it should be
to
fine.
interject there, he's probably gonna say it eventually, is we're never going to tell you that something has to be replaced. We're
Okay.
only gonna recommend
If it's
an
replaced.
expert contractor, plumber,
Right.
electrician to look at it and see.
Right,
Yeah.
okay,
So,
okay.
so I know there's, and I'm not gonna mention any names, but I know a home inspection company that'll say, well, your AC is a 2002, you need to replace it, it needs to be replaced. We
Right.
Coming
never,
to the end of its blah, blah, blah life.
well, they'll just tell you flat out, it just needs to be
Their
replaced.
opinions come in versus their professionalism, like if it was
The way-
their house.
The way we state is that, the average age of this HVAC system is
Yeah.
12 to 15 years. Yours is 19 years. We recommend a HVAC contractor evaluate and make sure, and so it's just basically.
You're right, and
it-
common sense
it's
says,
your
you know
wording.
what,
It's the wording,
Yeah.
that's right.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna probably have to replace my HVAC
That's right.
sooner
Getting old.
than later.
That's right.
I mean, that's common sense, but
That's
I've
right.
had an inspector guy say, if this was my house, or if
Right.
this is, you know what I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's kinda like,
Yeah, we'll never.
I
say
don't
that.
need I need your opinion, but not that opinion, I just
Right.
need the facts.
That's right, right.
For disclosure purposes,
Exactly.
make sure everybody understands and knows the facts of it.
Bobby, one of our other inspectors, he's actually on inspection right now, or he'd be here, but, I always like his thinking on this. He says, we're kind of the doctor, we're the general doctor.
Mhm.
That's who we are. We're gonna say, hey, I feel something in the heart, maybe you need to go see a cardiologist.
Right.
And that's what we do. We basically are the doctor. We're gonna go in, and if we're gonna see if we see things that possibly are a problem or could be a problem, and we're gonna recommend them to go see an HVAC technician or
Right.
electrical contractor. I just did a house over in Mobile, beautiful home, beautiful, beautiful. It was 1960, and the house was built like Fort Knox, but it had an extremely old electrical panel. And they're trying to drum me down. Well, what do I need to do about this? Well, listen, all I recommend is for you to get a licensed electrician to come in, because they've changed out all your outlets to 3-prong, but none of them are grounded. I mean, so somebody needs to look at it, that's what they do. That's why they have license to do that. I'm a licensed home inspector. I can tell you there's a problem, but I can't tell you how to fix the problem.
Right.
You need to find someone that can tell you how to fix it.
Right.
So it'd be like what kind of plug needs to be, you have a jacuzzi bath,
Mhm.
and there's a plug, you take the side off, and there's a plug in there to make it work. What kind of plug needs to go in there?
Well, it has to be a GFCI, General
One
Fault
that-
Circuit,
Like,
the
yeah,
press touch, yes.
press or-
Anything next to 6 foot of a water source has to be GFCI.
That or the breaker it's connected to has to be a GFCI.
That's right. Yeah, so if
You
that
might
outlet's
not see the button there, but if it's connected to a GFCI breaker in the box,
So if
then
it
that's
leaks,
fine.
and then,
That's right.
like.
It'll
water comes
it'll
down
trip.
and- Yeah, so you want electrocute yourself.
So it's kind of funny, you're saying that my wife wanted to put in a swim spa, which is jacuzzi, a little longer jacuzzi and a swim spa. And I said, okay, so we ended up buying one, and I had this perfect place. And I told my electrician, go ahead and put the box right here, and I get it down, and then I said, hell, I can't put it there. And Stacy said, why can't we put it there? I said, because it's like 3 foot from the water, and I can't put anything 3 foot from the energy source. So I had to move it an extra 6 foot out, which we had to we built a deck around it. Ended up okay, but it's just things that you just can't do. You know, so when you get to that point, it's just like standard jacuzzi inside of a home. If they have a motor on them, they have to have a GFCI attached to that motor. And most of them, well, I'll say all the new ones do, but there's a lot of them that don't. And we have to know.
What about these
Regular
ones?
plugging then?
What about these new, smart breakers?
I know, arc breakers.
What, are those?
Those drive me crazy, I'll tell you.
Okay. Well, I have a friend that has, her house was built 2019.
Yeah.
I mean, they're already blowing. She's
Yeah.
had 3,
Yeah.
I guess she's had to replace. And it's kind of like, I mean, how often do you have to replace a breaker? I know I haven't had to replace that
Yeah.
many.
You shouldn't.
And my house is 2002.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to
You know?
replace any breakers. I mean, if
So
everything's
it's
working
kind of like,
correctly.
are they?
It's just I think they're trying to outsmart themselves
Right.
and put different type of breakers in.
Trying to
Probably
create
money.
returning
Yeah.
customers.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it earlier in another place that D.L. Horton Homes. Let's just say, for instance, D.L. Horton for a long time they were putting GFCIs behind the refrigerator, and I got in an argument with the guy, and I said, "Why in the world would you put a GFCI behind the refrigerator? To begin with, a GFCI is made to pop if there's any energy surge or anything like that. So if you're off on vacation or if you're at work all day and that GFCI pops, your refrigerator quits. And if you're on vacation, that means everything in your refrigerator is gone. And not even that. Now think of you as a lady trying to move that refrigerator just to reset your GFCI.
Oh gosh.
It's the stupidest thing in the world.
Yeah.
So that guy told me, he said, oh yeah, you know what? We changed that. We don't do that anymore. Well, duh. I mean, goodness gracious. You know? So then I went into the laundry room and they put a GFCI behind the washing machine. And I asked him again, I said, you know the washing machine's going to throw energy in every once in a while and it's going to pop that GFCI. I said, who's going to help this old lady move that 150-pound washing machine to reset a GFCI?
Right.
It makes no sense. If you think it should be a GFCI, then put it put it on the wall where you can reach it, or put it in the panel like he was saying.
Okay.
That GFCI could have been in the panel, where all she had to do is go reset the panel.
Right.
And they're still doing that today. I don't understand some of the stuff they do. We write it up, but that's as far as we go. We just don't understand.
Right. So how much is it? So you have your middle package, which is kind of like it seems to be the best of both worlds.
It is. That's our most popular by far.
And would you suggest that for basically for a pre-listing?
Absolutely.
Right.
The good thing about a pre-listing and doing that premium program is that you're going to get the floor plan.
Right.
So, and then they
Okay.
get to see that floor plan all the time.
But you also disclose anything that's
But
happening.
yeah,
to the house, too.
it also
That's right.
covers your butt as far as disclosure
That's
goes.
exactly right. That's exactly
You
right.
know,
Yeah.
and it's good to be able to communicate. A lot of times as agents, when we're listing a property, you know, everybody's house is better than everybody's house, everybody else's house, and there's that's not that big of a deal. What's not a big deal to you is a really big deal to them. So
Right.
it's also a tool to help kind of get the point across. You need to address these items. They need to be repaired or fixed or replaced before it goes on the market,
Right.
because it's only going to cost you in the long run.
Right.
You know, so that's I think that's a really good tool.
So what we try to do, I mean, if you do a pre-inspection on that home, what I suggest, now one thing I don't even know that I mentioned yet, but what we do is we print out every inspection on every site the minute before we walk out the door. So everybody, I'll have agents say, well, how many days is it gonna be before I get your inspection report? You're gonna get it the minute I walk out the door, it's yours,
Wow.
right that minute. And we print it out and put it in a binder, just like this. And it kinda goes through, and then you go to the inspection report, and you'll see the picture of their house, and then the second page will be the summary of everything that we found wrong. And then that summary is what's priced the next day. So they
Okay.
have it. So let's say, for instance, they're out of town, they can't get the book, we email it immediately. So the next day or that afternoon, they're gonna get an email from Pillar to Post. It's gonna state, it's gonna be 4 boxes. It's gonna say, click here to get your inspection report. Click here to get your 360-degree photos. Click here to get your estimates, to price everything, and click here to get your floor plan. So every one of those, all you do is hit the button and you put in your email address and it's emailed to you immediately.
Oh, nice.
Do you have a sample of that online that you can click and just see what it's gonna look like? Do you have anything like that?
As far as this binder,
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see like what, you know, cause I think that's pretty impressive and that'd be something that I would like to see, you know, how it actually is gonna come to me or whatever, like showing the 3D photos and showing,
Right.
you know, the price, package.
Like
I
an
mean,
example
Like an
binder.
example. Do you
Yeah.
have like a example, you know, online?
yeah, we could send you a sample of one that we've done.
Okay,
Glad to
cause
do that.
I'd like to see.
Yeah.
Cause every, you know, most inspections are pretty similar.
Right.
They use the same software and
That's right.
things like
Yeah,
that.
this is completely.
So it'd be
Yeah.
nice to actually
Yeah.
see, because it's kind of impressive,
Right.
and I think it would help sell, you know. And
A
I would,
pre-inspection.
yeah, a pre-inspection, but I'd only do it if the house isn't a piece of crap, cause if you have a piece of crap house, you don't want that.
Yeah,
piece of
don't
crap.
do it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I just did one up in Fairhope on a piece of crap house. I mean, a major one. And the woman wanted a pre-inspection, and she wanted me, this is the agent, wanted me to leave the binder. And the beauty about it is, anytime people that walk in there, they know there's problems, but they may be problems that they don't know. So she wanted them to see the problems.
Mhm.
She wanted, you go through, let me show you what it is.
You know what, could that be used as your, oh, you don't do seller disclosures, never mind.
But
We can.
they
Yeah.
can be
But
used.
that could be almost used
Yeah,
like a
they're not
seller's disclosure.
required by the state of Alabama to do,
Right.
but you
Right.
can
This
use
is
that
buyer
as,
beware state.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a buyer beware state, but you can definitely do them.
I mean, cause that almost serves as a seller's disclosure, really, you know what I'm saying? Cause you're saying what's wrong with the house.
I think it's a plus because, you know, then people know that you're being honest about it.
Absolutely, and that's what the agent feels
Yeah.
up there. And I've done a bunch for her, and she sells them. As a matter of fact, it helps us too. I had one the other day that my binder was there, my business cards were there, everything was there. A guy did not buy that house, but he called me on another house. He said, "I've seen your binder on the other house, and I was so impressed. I want you to inspect my home." So it helps us out too by putting
Well,
it
that, and also it could help the agent say, you know, you really do your due diligence when it comes to listing a home.
Absolutely.
Or, you know, maybe you could buy me, you know, I can work as a buyer or a lister, you know, listing. my home.
Absolutely,
How do
absolutely.
you start pricing the inspections?
Okay, so this is, you got those forms, you wanna pass these forms out, I'll show you. So we price based on, definitely on square footage. You get a lesser price too, if it's a condo, there's a discount for a condo. There's also, we price, if there's an extra crawl space on the age and square footage, basically in the house. So let me have one of those. So basically what this form does is it shows you what we do and what no other inspector does. And we don't know if any inspector does the items that say no. And so those items are, we do the 360-degree walkthrough. We do the summary repair estimates that you get, the PTP estimates. You'll get something else I haven't even talked about, which we got here, is we will do any home inspection for you in 24 hours or it's free.
Wow.
100%. So if you need it tomorrow, if you need it, we'll do it, or it's free, 100%. We actually work 7 days a week. We inspect on Saturday, we inspect on Sunday.
Wow.
So if your customer, I'm sorry?
Is that extra?
No ma'am, no ma'am, it's not extra. At least my guys hadn't
If
charged
you
me
wanna
as
donate.
I mean, if you wanna.
That's fine. Not only that, it's the beauty about our system too, is you'll never get a recording. If you get a recording, there's something wrong. Because the first phone call comes into the office, which is Stacy. And then Stacy, if she's busy or on the phone, matter of fact, it happened just a few minutes ago when I drive over here, then the phone comes to me if her line's busy. If I'm busy, then it goes to Matt. If Matt's busy, it goes to Alan. If Alan's busy, so someone's going to answer that phone. If you, let's say for instance, you got a house coming up and you want to get a home inspection on it, you don't have to pick up the phone and call us. You don't have to. You can text us. If you're a texter, just text us. Hey, I need to text you at this number. I need you to do this home inspection. Here it is. Give you the address. Stacy will end up calling you, and if they don't have all the information, but just text us. So we receive texts, emails, and schedules 7 days a week. We answer the phone starting at 8 o'clock. We don't answer the phone after 9 o'clock. So 8 to 9, 7 days a week, we answer the phone. I mean, y'all work on the weekend, right? You show a house somebody wants to? Why aren't us? Why
What
aren't
are
we?
shut-off tags? You just show the homeowner where everything.
It is.
The shut
I'll
off.
be honest with you, we don't use those as much down here. Those shut-off valves or tags are really good for people up north in St. Louis.
Yeah.
For the reason is, our water shut-off is out in the yard.
Right.
You know, up there, shut-offs could be anywhere because they don't put them in the yard because they freeze.
Right.
So
Okay,
we don't
gotcha.
use them as much down here
Got
as
it.
they do in other territories.
You probably go over this, but maybe not, but typically when I order, an inspection, I have them do everything.
Mhm.
So are your guys termite approved?
No, we're not. And
Okay,
the
so
state of
you're-
Alabama is totally different. In the state of Alabama, you have to be a licensed termite inspector before you can do termite inspections. We will note if we see termites, and we have.
Okay.
What
But-
about, so typically, I mean, there's radon, there's termite, there's gas.
Okay.
That's, and in the home inspection, that's typically what what's being ordered.
Okay.
You know, so if you can't do it, then you just have somebody that you sub out or.
Right. So
But
normally,
you're
like,
the one-stop shop, like I can just send you, this is what I want and you take care of it.
yeah,
Okay.
radon.
No, I think you'd have to get your own, no, yeah, no.
Most people down
They
here.
would get their own, termite inspection. You
Okay.
would work with somebody else. They don't have like a termite person that
Oh,
they have
okay.
that would.
Now
sit there.
we have discussed that in length about hiring a company that
Yeah,
kind of subs for us
partnership,
and to do that. But most people, most agents have their guy that they've already been working with and say, well, no, you don't need Arrow, you need Wise because they do this and that. And
Right,
so
right.
that's just not us. We don't do that.
All right.
Now radon down here, we don't have radon. EPA, there's no radon in this part of the country yet, so
Oh.
no
That's
home
good to
inspector.
know.
Yeah.
No home inspector does test for radon down here. But we do test, believe it or not, we even test for meth. We test for
Oh, that's good to
meth, mold, water. We do sewer scopes. We do grinder pump inspections. We do complete pool inspections.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, we go, there's a
And
lot
those are kind
more.
of like things that you can add on?
Yes,
to the
ma'am.
package, okay,
Yes,
so it's
add-on
like add-ons, okay,
Yeah.
got it.
So if you look at this package, I mean, if you'll notice, 2 add-ons on this price was a crawl space and a pool. So we charge more to go under a crawl space than we would with a house without a crawl space. I'll tell you, it's only $50 for us to do it extra. There's some companies that charge over $200 to do a crawl space.
Mhm.
What is your sewer?
I didn't charge them too.
Sewer
No,
is,
never gone
it
there.
starts at $245 to do a sewer scope. And, based on which plan, so if you go to a premium plan or a prestige plan, it drops in price. It actually decreases 15%, if you pick up one of the higher. But it's, our starting price is $245.
And I'm asking these questions because I'm not familiar with the.
No,
area.
sure, yeah,
But like
sure.
in St. Louis, you got houses that are, 150, years old, and
Mhm.
you definitely wanna do. So
Sewer.
most of the inspections you do are sewer, related, and that's usually, the biggest problem of the house.
It can
So
be.
I don't know how
Absolutely.
it is down here, is that,
Not so much in the Baldwin County area. I mean, we do get into some of those old homes and some of the areas in Loxley, downtown Fairhope, but in Mobile, there's a lot of homes in Midtown area that have clay sewer pipes and stuff like that.
but around here, that's something that I probably wouldn't have to worry about.
That, not so much, not so much.
Especially with a condo, right? 'Cause I mean,
That's right, yeah, condo, yeah, you don't have to really worry about the sewer pipes. And if you have a problem in the sewer pipes in a condo, then it should be the HOA that takes care of it, or someone else.
If you have a well on your property, how can you find it?
How do you find the well?
Yeah, I tried
Well,
using those things.
I know, I thought she meant like whale. That's her.
I did that, I went all around the yard. And they do work, cause I come across, some water lines and it lost.
So,
I mean, it was so big.
so when you're saying try to find it, you're trying to find a well that's been covered in, because all wells has gotta have, a pump with it, and you find the pump, you usually find the well.
Well, they were saying that there's a well somewhere on that property, and I
Do you
thought,
have city water?
You have city water, so you're not using the well,
No,
so you just wanna find the well.
yeah, so I can use it.
So there's many people that have a well and city water. Most people use well water to water their
Or the
lawns.
grass, yeah.
You
But-
should be able to see a pump out there unless you're talking about an old school well.
It's been-
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been covered up.
If it's been covered, I don't know, we wouldn't be able to find it.
Right.
Yeah.
Covered.
Yeah,
You
that'd
wouldn't be
almost
able to
a
find
If
it
it's
now.
covered,
If it's
like-
covered, yeah.
Right.
But-
Right.
So y'all do
yeah.
the pictures, just like without an inspection, you'll go do the pictures.
Absolutely, absolutely, yes ma'am.
That's cool.
And that was
Absolutely.
how much?
It's
We're gonna-
$179 to do photos only of the house inside, and it's $249 with the floor plan.
With the floor plan.
Yes ma'am.
And does that include like I know it's not a Matterport, but is it kinda like it where you can hop
Kind-
through?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's very close to what a Matterport is. It's the next level up from Matterport.
Oh, really?
It
How
is.
many angles do you get for the, like, picture wise?
Oh, so what you basically do is you set the camera in the middle of the room,
Uh-huh.
and when we say 360 degrees, you're 360 degrees everywhere, every angle.
Wow.
You actually can take your finger on the thing and kind of move it around and see the everything. We can actually pull one up on that
Let's
computer
do
if you
that.
want us to.
Yeah, let's do
You,
that.
you know how to do that through
Because,
YouTube, the way that we had
I
it?
feel like
Log
it's
in
really
and
cool.
It is, Twitter is available.
Yeah.
That's a big one here.
Everyone wants to do
There's a
it.
lot of septic tanks here.
Do the YouTube video.
I thought that was a stage one.
No, this is just a stand of,
No,
I'm
but
recording
it's
Dan.
sewer, like, to the field line.
He loves it.
So,
Oh, yeah.
field
Hi.
lines, you have to have field lines, the septic systems, okay?
And we're gonna send, or I'm gonna send an email tomorrow with some follow-up information. It'll have like the videos and links to some of this stuff in there so you can see it and have a
Wow,
copy
we've
of it.
dealt with septic tanks
And grinder pumps.
and grinder pumps.
About 4 of
But
them.
especially if it's like a, house, like my brother's house is on an acre, but he's got a lot of trees around him, and he's got a septic system.
Is that
He had
the
to
one for
replace
agents?
all of his field lines, cause there's
That's
so
the
many
one.
roots from all the trees growing in, causing sewage to come above.
It's really close.
Don't you have to, inspect the actual, like a.
You don't have to have the septic tank inspected before, like, so the seller doesn't have to, they can ask. That it's in, as long as we disclose that there is a septic tank
Y'all wanna come
there,
watch it?
it's up to the buyer to decide whether they want to have that.
Inspect
septic
it.
tank.
So this is only about a minute and a half long, but it kind of goes through and shows you, exactly some of what you're looking at.
Sorry.
As a busy professional realtor, your time is important. Getting a
Look how
deal done
kind she
takes a
was.
lot of work. Revisit a property multiple times to show and re-show a home to clients, friends, family, and
You're getting the
contractors.
car by yourself.
Get it?
Yeah.
That's why we now include PTP 360 with all our home inspection packages. In just 15 minutes, PTP 360 creates an interactive, navigable, 360-degree virtual tour of a home. Outside, inside, every room, floor to ceiling. It is just like being there. Now your clients can revisit the home anytime from a desktop, tablet, or smartphone. They can also share the tour with friends and family. Key findings and pictures from our home inspection report are highlighted and can be easily shared with contractors to secure an accurate view. If your client chooses our premium or prestige home inspection packages, they will also receive PTP floor plan, which produces a measured floor plan of the entire house. PTP floor plan helps your clients determine furniture fit and provides measurements that can be used to get accurate quotes for painting, flooring, and construction.
Insurance.
PTP 360 and PTP floor plan, saving you time, getting you to closings faster, and helping your clients make a confident home ownership decision. Discover the pillar to
Will you go
post
to the
difference
closings for me?
today.
Yeah, Matt will.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Perfect for my out of town.
Yeah,
It's really great for your out of town.
On the floor plan is, and I know they're accurate,
Driving all
Well, I
down
mean,
here.
just in case.
The one guy.
Is there any
bought it-
problem
he bought
with
Vacation, I mean, without seeing the.
the agent putting a disclosure at the bottom that says not responsible for,
Absolutely, you do whatever you want to do,
Safety first.
okay.
whatever you want to do. Also, through our when we do a home inspection and when you use the floor plan and everything, and you toggle up with your finger and look at the wall and everything, you'll look down and it has a pillar to post logo. So the pillar to post logo is not allowed on MLS. So if you're gonna put it on MLS, let us know.
You
And
do
then
it unbranded.
Yeah, we can have that unprinted on there.
Okay.
Cause there's no logo can go onto MLS.
MLS, right, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, this is
Yeah.
good, very, very helpful information.
Well, you're staying competitive in price.
Absolutely.
Very competitive.
You know, it's really surprises us because we get pricing out and we always feel, okay, well, goodness gracious, we're the highest guy on the block maybe. And then when we started comparing, we're not the highest guy on the block. As a matter of fact, sometimes we're the cheapest guy on the block. Now, I will tell you that, especially in today's economy on what's happening, you know, home inspectors are getting hungry.
Right.
So, they're cutting prices everywhere. We've cut a few prices, you know, to try to just continue to be competitive. But if you got a deal that these people really are penny pinching and they need that extra 25 bucks, let me know. Just let me
Right.
know. We do give automatic discounts to military personnel, first responders, first-time home buyers.
Oh, okay.
So they get a discount automatically. Now, they gotta tell us when they call, cause we
Right.
just don't know, but if they're there,
This
we.
might be good, and I have to look
Yeah.
to see if it's something that we can do legally. I think we can. But I mean, if we have a client, we can offer, basically, we pay for the pre-listing inspection prior to listing, and at the time of closing, it comes out of our commission. You know what I mean? So basically, as a bonus, is what we could offer our client as an opportunity to, you know, get the best analysis of their home and get the most money out of the sale of their home, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I don't know. I have to, it's kind of a little gray area right there with the commission, so I'll just have to double check. But yeah, I think that's. I mean, because we offer. I mean, I've had agents pay for termite inspections for. You know,
for an HVAC.
yeah,
Not
an
a
HVAC
yeah.
inspection. You know, 'cause sometimes we have to do things to get some
Sure.
bills.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
to come together and
Yeah.
you know, as long as it's in the best interest of the consumer.
Absolutely.
Refrigerators and
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
I've bought Cadillac Escalade.
Well, some of these condos and some of the homes
Right.
you sell could pay for that. I mean,
Yeah.
Right,
no
that's
doubt
what
about
I'm
it.
saying. Like it's very reasonable,
Right.
especially if you know you have a buyer and a seller that are both happy at the end of the day, and
Right.
they know, and the buyer knows what they're getting.
how does this,
And it can
Like-
pop a few sellers, bring their expectations
Exactly.
to price down a little bit.
how does that work with, you know, listing their, or when you're listing a house for Vacasa and you're doing the pictures? Is that something that
You
they're,
you can choose whichever pictures you want. If you do it with them, I mean, you can use those pictures. That's up to you. You're the agent.
right, I just didn't know.
Oh, if it's
they pick their look.
unit with Vacasa already?
If it's a vacation rental that we manage, you mean?
Yeah,
Or
I
you
mean,
just
it'd be
talking about-
pretty easy, I mean, it'd be okay for me to use those pictures instead of maybe something that they've already had on there,
Yeah.
or actually doing them, you know, ourselves.
Right.
We could just use,
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can use what they provide. If you're listing it, yeah, absolutely.
Let me ask you, if you're just renting that place, short-term rentals, do you take pictures of those? Do those short-term rentals have
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah,
do
no, so-
Matterports on all of them.
Yeah.
So what Vacasa does, if it's a Vacasa managed property, they will offer the pictures. But we have our own Matterport machine here that we go in and do for our listings. But Sam does them, and there's one Sam, and more agents, and she's an agent herself.
Right,
So
right.
sometimes, you know, this might be more ideal.
Right.
Instead of, especially if there's a property, let's say, in
That's why I was so
Spanish
interested.
Fort, you know,
Pictures.
Spanish Fort, and she's here working, and this,
Right.
the
Yeah,
property
but how
needs to
do
be
you use
listed,
that?
pictures
How
need
do
to be
you
done,
use
and,
that,
you know, it's just
that
more feasible to maybe,
$250?
and Vacasa
What do you mean?
will,
Like if
actually
you- like if
reimburse
you-
our
If I do
agents
the
up
Matterport,
to $450 for
When you do the
pictures.
Matterport, you're
Right.
paying,
To be
you're
done.
paying
Yeah.
for the pictures.
Yeah.
So,
Versus using them,
You know,
it's
they could easily do that.
$250, so, you know.
Yeah, but like if I
would
do
the
it,
customer eat that, or?
no, if I do the pictures, I just don't get paid anything.
She just doesn't.
I
She's
just
an employee. She
do
just
it.
doesn't because she's nice. Stay on her good side.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
I know, I'm just
do it.
saying, that,
It was originally for our property management, like that we onboard property management where we would sign up property management. But since, you know, we're a small office with, you know, not so many agents, she was able to do a lot for our agents. But as we grow, you know, it will get increasingly difficult. It already is difficult for her at some point to manage all these because she's gotta go, we're all over the county, in Mobile, Dolphin Island as well. So, I mean.
Yeah,
it
we'll
just
go all
seems-
of those
we
places,
don't-
and we're in
we
those
rent
places all the
property,
time.
that's something that we would pay for it, that.
Vacasa will pay, will reimburse an agent whether you use them,
Oh,
or
okay.
another photographer.
Oh, yeah, they'll pay for it.
They'll,
that's what I was
reimburse
asking.
an
Oh, okay,
agent
yeah.
$250 for pictures.
Oh, okay,
So basically, you can call them, they can do the pictures and the
and then you wouldn't
floor
have to.
plan or whatnot, and
Yeah, I don't
you
mind,
get
but yeah.
$250 back. But she
Yeah.
doesn't do floor plans,
Yeah, I can't do the floor plan.
and she doesn't have the measurements. I mean, that takes time. She would have to go in there and literally click,
You have to like
Click-
actually physically
click,
measure it, I think.
yeah,
I
like,
think we've all answered our questions.
Yeah,
Paula?
yeah.
just call them.
I mean, you get reimbursed anyway,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did.
I think it's just
Yeah.
closer to closing, you get reimbursed, I think, if I'm not mistaken,
No,
so
I
you're
don't
just
care
out
about
of the
that.
pocket until then.
right
so.
up front, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Jennifer Anderson does it all the time.
Yeah, she
doesn't-
only
She
does.
only uses her certain photographer,
Mhm.
and she submits her reimbursement, and she gets reimbursed all the time.
Yeah.
But
There you go.
anyways, well, I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
This is
problem.
great information.
Yeah.
And, do you have anything you can leave here? We can,
Yeah, we can, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
We
Just some
actually,
stuff to be able to give, you know,
So this is, we can leave this little thing, and this has got the different plans in it.
okay,
And then the taller one, as you'll see here,
Yeah.
you actually can pull up,
Okay.
and it has the bar that you can scan in the
Oh,
back
nice.
of, and then it'll pull the videos up.
oh,
And it
cool.
goes through the 360, the
That's
estimates, the
perfect.
floor plan, the whole, little- yeah, but, yeah.
Yeah, that is perfect.
Yep.
That's perfect, because that's gonna probably save a lot of realtors a lot of headaches.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And then here, I'll put some business cards
Yeah.
in too. And
That's
then,
great.
and then just,
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna email our other agents that work here.
Yeah, I'll
Physically
scan all
or
this
versus-
in and I'll
We'll
send it
send
to
them
them.
okay, so we also do that? I mean, Alan?
Yeah, I'm gonna send a follow-up email tomorrow. I'll actually include the link to our YouTube with this. I'll
Oh,
include
Oh
that.
gosh, I've
Yeah.
been on YouTube?
I'll include that video.
Yeah, he includes that video.
Include that video.
I thought you were just showing us an example of, what the camera looks like.
No, this is the other camera. The
You'll
Matterport
be just
camera's pretty
fine.
big now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So ours is about this big.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen the one that you're talking about.
And they're very expensive.
We have an example of how we take it on our social media. It's pinned, so if you want to check our social media out,
Okay, yeah.
on
That's cool.
Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all of it, so you can actually see how we go through it.
Yeah, I like that, that's neat, that's good, that's nice to have that option, for sure.
Well, we thank you for allowing us to come in.
Yeah,
No
thank
problem.
you guys for coming, I really